Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
All right, we still have a little while, but because we're going to start at 8:30, but I just wanted to have this up so people could get in. Good morning, everyone. Our theater and dance people are having a little bit of technical issues, so they're going to join us in just a minute. So hang tight. But thank you for being on time, and I'm really excited that you're here and excited about this new school year, even though it's going to be a little bit different than our school years in the past. Waiting on our theater and dance director. All right, great.
So we should have two more joining.
Yeah, I already got them. They're in.
Okay, good deal.
Okay. All right, welcome everyone to the Visual Arts Dance and Theater New Teacher Academy Session 1. Sorry for those technical difficulties, dance and theater, but we're glad you're here. Let's see if I can. All right, so I am Tiffany Fromm. I'm the Director of Visual Arts. And Glenn, do you want to introduce yourself?
Oh, sorry. Glenn Bennett, the Director of Dance and Theater.
All right, we are going to be doing a lot of our session together today, but we're going to start off in separate sessions. So we are going to be breaking out, but just some meeting norms. So we have 4 more sessions, so please be on time for those. Keep your mute on until you're speaking, and we also need you to keep your video on. That lets us know that you were here the whole time and helps us with attendance. So our agenda, we're going to start with that breakout session, and then at 9:30, we're going to be coming back together, and we're going to learn about Google Classroom, and then at 10:30, Google Slides, and we'll have some breaks in there for you. All right, so let me go to, let's see. And we practice this with these breakout rooms. So let me see, I think. Two rooms. After it'll be in. All right. Okay, so we're gonna break out into those rooms and it should automatically bring you back at 9:30. All right, ready, Glenn?
Totally.
Okay. All right, looks like it worked. Good. All right. All right, so welcome to the visual arts welcome part. Hold on just one sec. Teresa, can you talk to Shauna? So what we're gonna start with, oops. Yeah. It's moving my screens. Just one sec. All right, so what we're gonna start with is we're gonna do a sketch on whatever paper you have around. This is not obviously graded, but I want you to sketch for about 10 minutes about why you became an art teacher. And if you could use a pen or a marker, that would be better because pencil's hard to see. And then we're gonna share. And when you share, you're gonna tell us your name, your school, how many years you've been in education, and what you're looking forward to this year. So go ahead and start, and then we can share our sketches. Because it might be new teachers. Yeah, she can join if she wants. Mm-hmm. All right, you have about 3 more minutes to finish up. All right, time's up. So when we share, we're going to share our name, the school you'll be teaching at, how many years you've been in education, and or working in education, and what you're most looking forward to this year. All right. So I think if you stick it on speaker view, you'll be able to see, and then I'll just call your name and then unmute yourself and it'll be your turn. But I'll start with mine. So what I found was that I first fell in love with art from the time I was very small, and in high school decided that I wanted to be an art teacher because I loved art so much. And I started my teaching career in Utah, and then also in Maryland, and then came to Texas. So while I was there, I taught at all different types of school. But when I started at Odie Wyatt, I fell in love with our underserved population and saw it as a place where I could do more and help kids. And I saw how much that art can change students' lives and help them for the better. And so with that in mind, I went on to leadership so that I could hopefully give teachers that same desire and support so that they could also change the lives of students on a larger scale. I am looking forward to the way that we can reach students now in this time that's different, that we can be that area that they're most looking forward to, the reason why they log in each day. And I've been in, this will be my second year as the director, so I'm a little bit new also to this spot, but I have been in the district for several years as a teacher and then an assistant principal. All right, so if Christopher, if you wouldn't mind going next.
Yeah, so I'm Chris. This is my sketch. So I'm a community organizer apart from coming into this. And I was a teacher back in Keller a few years ago. And I think a big part of why I got into teaching is to help others. And then when I left, I was organizing, and as time went on, I just felt like something was missing, and I really wanted to reconnect with the kids, uplift and help kids on another level. And so that's the reason I came back. And I'm going to be at ALA, Applied Learning Academy, so 6th, 7th, 8th. And this would be my third year teaching. And then the thing I'm most excited for is I'm gonna get to teach a civic advocacy class. So as my advisory period, so I'm really excited about that. I'm gonna get to teach these 12-year-olds about social issues. That's going to be really exciting, and I'm going to try to do that through art. I did a little bit in Keller. I'm really curious what that's going to look like in the current environment. But yeah, nice to meet y'all.
Thank you. Aaron, will you go next?
Hi, y'all. My name's Aaron. I'm going to be teaching at Morningside Middle School this year. When it comes down to how many years I've been working in education, if it's just education across the board, I would probably consider it to be close to 4 years, having spent 3 years teaching glass to all levels at Bullseye in Santa Fe for a while. But as far as like public teaching, schools and whatnot, it'll be about a year once the season starts up. Oh yeah, this is, I don't know if you can see the stupid background. There he goes. Nope. Hey. Okay, so as far as the sketch goes, the reason why I chose that was because I'm looking forward to being able to create waves, create ripples within students to reach out and touch someone and have those repercussions echo on, which is why I chose something a little more symbolic for my sketch. I remember really, like, across my entire life, I've always been involved with art. My parents are artists, and I've always just known that I've wanted to do something with art. And I really kind of found my direction in middle school when my middle school art teacher, she taught us jewelry, and so from there I wanted to continue working with sculpture and jewelry, and then that led to college, which led to sculpture, which led to an art degree, which led to glass, which led to teaching, which leads me here. So I kind of wanted to be able to inspire someone, anyone just like that. I also wanted to lift up the students and let them know that they do have these skills, they do have these abilities that they don't realize. A lot of times I hear from them, oh, I can't do this, I can't do that, I've been told I'm bad, and it's like, no, you're not. You're being beaten down. You definitely have these skills. You have the ability to do it. And I want them to be able to see that and to move forward with this strength in their own abilities. So that's kind of really what I'm looking forward to, is this connecting with my students, uplifting them, getting to know them better, and getting them to know themselves better. Because a lot of the times, in society, especially now, everything is just so hard and heavy, and you're just like constantly being beaten down by others, and it's time that we try and help each other and lift each other up through this. So I'm hoping to be able to do that with art.
Thank you. Can we go to Alexandria? Alexandria?
Hello? All right. Hi. So my name is Alex. This will be my 4th year teaching. I'm teaching at Meadowbrook Elementary School. So my sketch, I kind of wanted to focus on sort of introducing artistic ability to smaller kids, which is why I got into art in the first place and to teaching art. I didn't know I wanted to be an art teacher until I went to college and decided I liked working with kids. I liked seeing how excited they got whenever, they drew something or created something, and I wanted to keep doing that. So I decided to go an alternative route and get my teaching certification. And I love working with the little kids just because they haven't been told they can't do it yet. They're still in that little phase where they believe they can pretty much create anything, and there's no limit to their imagination yet. And so I love seeing the crazy things that they come up with. And that's what I'm really most excited about this year, is just, meeting these new kids, getting to know them outside of school, getting to know them a little bit better, and just seeing what they can come up with in terms of their creativity and what their brains can come up with, because kids are amazing in that way.
Thank you, Alex. Hannah?
I'm Hannah. I am a first-year teacher, and I'm at Harling Beale Elementary. So what I'm looking for most this year is getting to know the students and forming relationships with the kids. and getting to know all the teachers as well. So I'm just really excited to start out. This is my drawing, and so hang on. It starts here, and from when I was young, I always enjoyed art, and so I would just sit outside and draw, and I used to do that a lot, and that developed as I got older. And I actually had a high school teacher. He told me to go to UNT, and he told me that I needed to pursue art. And so, and I always I had different jobs where I worked with kids, so I decided to kind of combine those two passions because I love working with kids. So I decided to become an art teacher. And so at the, I don't know if you could see all of it, but those are the different, I worked at the Y and at Stonewater, and those kind of, those jobs kind of impacted where I ended up, what I ended up doing later on. So yeah.
Thank you, Hannah. Jennifer?
All right, so I'm Jennifer. I'm going to be teaching at Morningside Elementary, and I've been in education for 10 years now. This is my sketch. It's going to be backwards, isn't it? Anyway, it says passion. So I didn't start out as an art teacher. I started out as a third grade elementary teacher. I went to school for elementary, just content, and just a bunch of stuff happened, and my career went to middle school to high school to, I mean, it's been everywhere. I got into art, and then a couple years ago I went back to elementary teaching first grade, and that's where I really just discovered that art is my passion and elementary kids are my passion. So I kind of just went all over the board until I kind of fit into what I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to be a teacher. I knew I wanted to teach kids. I figured out I wanted to teach art, and then I figured out I wanted to teach elementary. So that's just kind of my journey. It was a long journey, but.
All right, thank you, Jennifer. All right, Laura?
Alrighty. Pardon. Okay, hopefully. Okay, there we go. Got it. Still new to the Zoom thing. Loving it though. All right, I'm Laura Vandertuen. This is actually going to be my first year teaching. And here is, there's my sketch. I'm a cartoonist and an illustrator. I started out by doing artist alleys at anime and video game and comic book conventions. I still love it. I still plan on, hopefully, fingers crossed, being able to do some of them during the summer. But what inspired me to teach was being able to talk to the kids at these conventions and see how passionate they were when they could connect with whatever you're actually talking to them about. When they can create that connection with it, something in their eyes just kind of light up, and it's just it's something I want to chase forever, and I want to help these kids grow and understand things. And my grandfather passed away a couple years ago, and he was also very passionate about teaching, and he inspired me as well. And I'm going to be working at M.L. Phillips Elementary, and I think I'm the most excited about actually the challenge this year is going to bring, and being able to get creative with how we're going to teach these kids, and I'm just super excited.
Right, thank you, Laura. Marcia.
I'm sorry, y'all. I didn't know my mic was off. So here's my drawing. I'll be teaching at De Zavala Elementary School. There's a 14 in the middle. I've been there. I've been teaching for 14 years. I actually started out in my hometown. I taught there for 2 years after college. Then I came to Fort Worth for 6 years. Left Fort Worth to go teach in a middle school in Everman for 6 years. Don't ever leave elementary school to go teach middle school. That's for you new teachers. You need to know that. Anyway, so I'm looking forward to working with the babies again, piggybacking off of Alex. They want it more, you know? So it motivates you to want to teach them and just develop their skills, because they care a lot more about art and being creative and, I don't know, identifying their surroundings and enjoying their environment. They just care so much. So I want to be with the babies again. And what else? Am I missing something? I think that's it. I'm looking forward to working with you guys.
Thank you, Marsha.
You're welcome.
Rebecca.
Good morning. All right, so this was my sketch. I kind of cheated because I started drawing since like 8, so I had a little bit more than 10 minutes, which is why it's so colorful. So my name is Rebecca Paniagua. I know it says Rojas, but they haven't changed it yet. I will be at Woodway Elementary this year. This is my 7th year teaching, but my first year as an art teacher. I started in 2nd grade, then I did 4th grade, and then I've been in pre-K. The reason why I wanted to make the transition into art is because I mean, I love teaching 4th grade and I love teaching 2nd grade. I just love teaching the elementary kids, like Marsha said. And Alex, there's just something, they're still so young and they want to still be inspired by things, and their mind isn't so clouded by like the real life events and what's to come for them yet. So I just to get to be around all age groups, and again, to inspire them and to make messes with them. I just want to open up that creative window for them. And I mean, yeah, that's it.
Thank you. Ronnie.
Hello, I'm Ronnie, and I'm going to be a high school teacher at Northside High School this year. And this is, I guess, like my 5th year of teaching. I taught for a couple of years in elementary school, and then I left and taught at UTA for a while. And now I'm back to the district. But I've always taught art, and then when I've taught at UTA, then I taught photography. I'll do my little sketch real quick. I didn't have any markers, so mine's not very colorful, and I just used my notepad. But basically, I have a lot of words written. The reason that I became an art teacher is because I just wanted to inspire young adults. So I went to art school and everything, but then I was a graphic designer for years, and I did a lot of art directing and photography and things like that. And I owned my own business for a while. I had interns come in from my old college that I taught, and that's when I learned that actually I love to mix both art and teaching, and photography and teaching. So I decided to go and get alternative certified to teach. But so the opposite reason of some of the elementary teachers just were talking about the reason they want to teach elementary is because they're excited about learning. I always wanted to teach high school, even though my original job was elementary, because that's just kind of what I could get into. Because of the opposite reason, I feel like sometimes the high schoolers get burned out by the time they reach high school, and I feel like art is the one place that they can still have some autonomy and become who they are meant to be, and really focus on issues that are really important to them. So my heart's always been with the older students, and so I'm just super excited this year to get to be around those kids. And part of my sketching, the reason why I had different things is because I also want high schoolers to know that there's all different forms of being an artist, because I always had kids come in and say, oh, I can't draw, or I can't whatever. Well, there's photography, there's all different ways to be a visual communicator. And that's why I'm really interested in showing high schoolers that it's not about, I mean, yes, it's awesome if you can draw and we will work on those skills, but that there's all types of things to learn, and to have some autonomy to make decisions, so that when you go out into the real world, you are making these decisions on your own. So I've tried to go by the motto of relationships first and teaching second. And I just feel like our students that are about to go out into the world need that. I don't want to say friendship, because that's not kosher with teachers, but have that mentorship from a teacher that is respectful of their ideas and their thoughts, and what better place to do it than in the art room. and I don't know if I already said I'm at Northside High School this year, and just excited to be back in the district. If I missed something, let me know, but that's it.
Oh, thank you, Ronnie.
Mhm.
And Sophia.
Hi, everyone. So I actually am going to be a student teacher this semester with Deborah Down, who's going to be speaking, I think, at 10:30. So I do not have any experience yet with teaching other than my observations. So I'm really a newbie and love hearing what you guys have to say. So I also don't know how well this is going to show up, but, oh, hello? Okay, well, there's it kind of. I drew a tree, which I kind of see as like a symbolic representation of what I see in art and what I want my future students to feel in my art classroom is just the sense of connectivity, because we all have individual students, and like a tree has many parts, but it's all connected. And I want my students to be able to feel connected through art with themselves, with their peers, and be able to feel like they have a connection to the world with studying art history. And also, well, I just love trees, but also all kids of all ages, just have so much potential to grow, and that's what I see in students. And so I'll have the opportunity to student teach all levels, so K through high school, which will be interesting because I really have no idea where I'm going to end up. So, yeah.
All right, thank you, Sophia. All right, that is all we have for right now. So you have about 19 minutes to take a break and stretch your legs, walk around, use restroom services. If you have any immediate questions, you can stay on and ask me. Otherwise, go ahead and you can turn off your video and mute yourself if you haven't already. But if you have questions, I'm here for these next few minutes. Oh, Austin, did I miss you? I'm so sorry.
I was thinking of saying something, and I'm like, I don't know if there's like a greater plan here or not.
Well, please show me your sketch. And
okay.
So sorry.
It's fine. So Austin Johnson's my name. I'll be teaching at Riverside Applied Elementary and Charles Nash, so I get the split position. I wouldn't say I've had any years of experience, but before, like the past 2 years, I have substitute taught in Keller ISD. So I've got just a little bit of experience, but still not anything a teacher would have. And of course, this past spring, I did some student teaching. I drew something ahead of time. So obviously, I didn't have enough time to be able to make it like that. But what I've got here is me and a student. And it might be hard to see, but the pictures, they range from just like a regular rough sketch to increasingly getting better into the last one. And so growing up in school, art was really just the thing that I had the most interest in, I had the most fun with. And it wasn't really until like early college that I decided that, being a teacher would be best for me. I wanted, a job that I could basically be happy with and be able to use my talent in, instead of just something that wouldn't use my talent. I don't think I'd have as much fulfillment in it. And so being an art teacher, I feel like not only can I continue to do what I love, but I can also teach students the same thing. Even if they're not good at art, they can use art as like a means for therapy. you know, if they're angry, they can put down a sketch or something, make themselves feel better. And if they love art, then more power to them. I can help them increase their skill and show that, you know, no matter what level artists they are, with a few techniques, they can really make their work shine. And, you know, even in student teaching, I would look at a kid's artwork and show them the different things they could do and then see the outcome of it after the help. And I was like surprised that, you know, I could tell a kid to do something with their work and then it comes out into this, and their work shows these positive effects of that teaching. And I did feel like it was really wholesome, and I felt like there was a lot of worth to it. And so I wanted to continue down that avenue of teaching, because I think I'll really enjoy it a lot.
Thank you. And sorry I missed you in the initial list. All right, so we do have about 15 minutes. So do take a break. And I think we had, and if you have any questions, please ask.
Hello. I wonder what's going on in this.
Oops. Sorry, Glenn. I admitted you back in, then it still didn't have you come in.
Yeah, it's all good.
Good morning, Tiffany.
Morning. How are you, Shauna?
Am I the only soul in here this morning, or what happened?
No, they're on a break right now.
Okay.
So they'll be coming back in about 9 minutes at 9.
Okay.
So, but thanks for joining us.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, you have to about 9:30 to relax.
Okay. I'm gonna mute myself then.
Okay.
I think. Well. Here.
How did your introductions go? I mean, obviously anybody can hear our conversations.
Yeah, pretty good so far. And we're being recorded, so there's that.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I'm not going to say anything bad. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, ours went fine. What was funny is we get notification in junk mail that somebody's trying to join the class.
Oh, okay.
And I saw Shauna's name because I was checking on others, and I saw Shauna's name pop up in the dance and theater one.
Mm-hmm.
So I was hoping it wasn't somebody that joined dance and theater, and I had no idea who they were, but so I'm glad that it was not that.
Yeah, I had given Teresa my phone to kind of manage it if I got calls in case one of the new teachers called, but
Right.
I had the volume off, so it didn't
Oh,
show her the text.
okay.
So.
Yeah, I don't know why I got kicked off. We were done doing our introductions, so I said go ahead and take a break, and then I started checking on some emails, came back, and I couldn't get back to it.
Mm.
So all good.
Yeah.
We'll need to make sure. I got to check the after the VPA one that the Zoom link is the right one.
Okay.
Because we joined back together after that. I think we're doing our separate thing, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah. And Chris sent a text saying that Zoom was having some issues this morning.
Yeah.
So.
And I didn't experience any problem until I got kicked off. Does Teresa still have your phone?
No, I have it now.
Okay.
Because I'm not facilitating this next one. So I can manage it.
Bentley should be joining us here any second.
Okay.
Obviously, we need to make sure we get her in.
Yeah.
So and then we'll probably need to make her co-host so she can share her screen.
Yeah, I have it set so that anyone can share screen. So.
Got it. Okay. All right. Yeah, Gina and I, because she starts classes today, so she's teaching today at A&M Commerce. So we were trying to become Zoom experts over the weekend. Had a lot of in-house Zoom meetings.
Well, that's fun. Renee had her wisdom teeth out on Friday, so she was pretty whiny the whole weekend. So
Yeah,
yeah.
that's awful. Oh yeah, you showed me the video. Yeah, it's all fun and games until the numbness wears off, and then you try to eat something.
Yeah. She was even taking her own videos, and oh my goodness, they were funny. But all right, Bentley's on.
Awesome.
So we have about 4 more minutes.
What's up, Bentley?
Hi.
Hey, so Tiffany has it set up. You know, every time I say Tiffany, my Siri goes off. I don't know why. So Tiffany has it set up where you can share your screen.
Okay.
So whenever you want to do that, or you want to wait till everybody's back officially, which is about 4 minutes. Is that Cameron down there?
Yes, hi. I was having technical problems this morning.
Well, you're not the only one. So we had a few ourselves, but it's okay. No big deal. So you at some point in time, Cameron, not during the rest of this, we'll have to get you to introduce yourself to the other theater folk.
Okay.
I guess none of my dance people have are finished with the processing on board. So
I'm not either.
Well, I know, but like I said, I turned a blind eye. So we can get you in here and introduced.
Mr. Bennett, I used to do sets at Jubilee Theater.
Oh, is that right?
You remember Rudy Eastman?
I do not.
Yeah, well, he was the one that started Jubilee Theater.
Okay.
So,
I haven't really had much of a connection at all with Jubilee. So I don't know much about it and never have worked with them. So you said you were doing sets?
Yes.
Yes,
that I have a BFA in theater production with a concentration in scenic painting. So
nice.
I was just kind of like asleep at the wheel here, and
yeah.
Since you're in theater, I thought maybe you might know.
Well, Shauna, you may not want to announce that too loudly.
Uh-oh.
Because many of the technicians are more on the less on the painting side and a little bit more on the master electrician and construction side. So
okay.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
So you could probably find a lot of friends in theater with painting ability. That was never one of my strong suits.
Well, I took the lighting course, and of course, we had to be diverse, and that was always challenging, trying to do the design for the lighting. I just I made it through it, but the painting was my forte. I would help him hang the lights, but the planning part, I don't think so. So, but anyway, I'm gonna let y'all get back to chatting. I just thought I'd throw that out there.
Well, that's awesome.
Okay.
And then Glenn, do you want to introduce Bentley when we?
I will.
Ready?
When it's time, you tell me when we're ready to go, Tiffany, and I will blast.
Okay.
I don't turn on my fluorescence because it gives me a weird halo.
Yeah.
And you can't see me, but now I've got a weird halo because of the way the sun comes through. So it's a no-win in this room.
Yeah, I had to close my blinds so that I wasn't like backlit
I mean,
But
I could put my head down like that, but then the bald spot would start shining.
yeah, you don't want to show that off.
No, although if you see me in person ever, you'll notice.
All right. Well, why don't we? It is 9:30, so go ahead.
All right. Well, welcome back, everybody. I'm glad that you had a chance to have a break after that long morning session. The rest of today, we're going to try to do some things that'll help you out on the virtual side of things, the technical side of things. And you may be familiar with some of these things already, but you never can tell when the presenter is going to offer up something that you may not have known before. So some of these things may be familiar, some of these things may not. So as we go through it, hopefully you can pick up something new, some new strategies with Google Classroom and Google Suites. Bentley Nesbitt is going to be going through the next 45 minutes to an hour on Google Classroom. She's the director of theater over at the I Am Terrell Visual Performing Arts Academy, and she says that she is a Google Classroom. Oh no. I was going to say prude because it has to be a certain way to make sure that it's copacetic and everything's working right. So, but we're also learning. So I'm going to shove it over to Bentley, so she'll be able to take it from here. Go ahead, Bentley.
Hi guys, like Glenn said, I'm Bentley. I'm over at I'm Terrell, I'm the theater director. So yeah, I'm gonna give you, sorry, my cat is being annoying. I'm gonna give you kind of a intro into Google Classroom and Google Drive specifically. Like you said, I am not a pro, and a lot of the things I learned this summer because when we went online last year, my Google Classroom was a disaster. And things got lost and the kids didn't know what they were doing and I didn't know what I was doing. So I'm just gonna kind of show you the basics of it and some little tips and tricks I've learned this summer and last year that have made Google Classroom much easier to use. So, okay, the first thing I wanna show y'all is Google Drive. I cannot recommend enough to use Google Drive for your life on everything. Now, I use my personal Google Drive just because like last year, right when we shut down because of COVID, there was an issue with a malware attack and we lost access to all of our district login and everything. So that's why, I mean, just to be safe, everything that I save on my Fort Worth ISD Google Drive, I also save to my personal one. Just so if there's ever an issue, I still have access to all my files. But I just wanted to kind of show y'all how I do it. So this is my one for Terrell. So you can see I have everything in folders and I keep everything on here. I keep all my PowerPoints, every single handout I ever send to them. This has been awesome for online learning because you can link things directly to this. So there, I mean, handouts, PowerPoints, videos, photos. What's been really nice is I also keep all of my purchase orders, like the screenshots of my Amazon list that I send in for purchasing. I keep those too, because if you're like me and not really good at keeping up with your inventory throughout the school year, having screenshots of what you ordered is awesome when you can go back and fill in your inventory because you forgot to do it and then it's due. So highly recommend doing that. And this also, like, I keep track of my own budget just because that way, you know, there's two eyes looking at it. But yeah, so cannot recommend this enough. And if you don't know how to use Google Drive, it's super easy. That you could just go new folder and that's how you make a folder. And then you can upload things, or you can make Google Docs, Sheets, Slides, and then it's all in one place and it's really easy. It's also really awesome if you switch schools. Like I still have access, I taught at McLean Middle School before I came to Terrell, and I still have access to everything from McLean, which is really nice because there have been things that I wanted to like use a little piece of it from something I made 3 years ago. And instead of having to hunt through a binder and throw all these things around, I knew exactly what I was looking for, or I just searched, Shakespeare at the top, and it gave me everything for Shakespeare. I was able to find what I needed, then adjust it for the high school class, which has been awesome. Okay, any questions about Google Drive? I know that was super fast, but just wanted to, if you aren't using it, use it. It's gonna make your life so much easier.
Hey, Bentley.
Yeah.
Do you find it easier or better, and or it doesn't matter if creating it, say you create a PowerPoint and then uploading, do you ever have any issues with that, or is it easier to create it with a Google slide, or does it matter to you?
I prefer Google Slide just because it just makes it easier to edit it rather than a PowerPoint presentation, because then if I wanted to edit it, I would have to then open it, then it would have to open PowerPoint on my computer. So I don't use I don't use Word, I don't use PowerPoint, I don't use Excel. I use all of the Google things. I use their sheets, slides, and docs just because it makes it a lot easier and it saves a step when I'm trying to edit things because I edit them a lot. And everything you do through Google automatically saves, which is awesome because I frequently forget to save things. Okay, so now we're gonna look at Google Classroom. So to make a class, you just go up here to the little plus sign and you press create a class. You give it its name, section, subject, room, all that. And then, so this, let me actually take you to. So then this is what a completed class looks like. So this is the code that you would give kids to join. So this is your stream. Now, a little tip with the stream, if you'll go up to the little gear and scroll down to stream, and it'll automatically be at show condensed notifications. I would highly recommend you go to hide notifications because if you hide notifications, it makes your stream where when you post something, it's front and center, as opposed to this is what it looks like if you don't hide notifications. It posts something every single time you post something, and it just kind of clutters up your stream. And you can miss things, the kids can miss things. So that's something I learned is I hide the notifications. So the things that I post on my stream that I want them to see are front and center. So like what I have on my stream is my school recommended us doing this, and I would recommend for y'all to do it too. I made a due date calendar for the first 4 weeks of online learning. That way it's all in one spot. The kids can go, they can see what online lesson we're covering. And then in the blue boxes, these are exactly what's due on those days. Yeah, my campus just recommended that we do this, and I'm glad I did. And I got some feedback from the kids, and they really like that I did this because then they can just print it out, put it on their desk, and they know exactly what's due each day. Okay, and to share something, you just click on it and you can share it. And if you have multiple classes that you're doing a Google Classroom for, like say I wanted to post a link to something, I'm just gonna say hi. And I can click this button and I can click all the classes that I want this to post on the stream, which just saves time. And then you can add pictures, you can do files, you can do YouTube links, whatever you want. And then I have a link on my stream to the YouTube playlist with all my synchronous lesson plans or my synchronous videos, because since we can't require kids to attend those daily meeting times that your campus is setting up, we have to record all of it. So I just put a link to the YouTube playlist, so it's really easy. We use Band, so I put a link to that. And then I put a link to the Production One playlist. So that's all that I have on my stream. But like I said, highly recommend hiding the notifications because it's gonna make your life and the kids' life a lot easier if it's not just cluttered with, that you posted an assignment, you did this, you did that.
Hey, Bentley, is the stream interactive where it can be a discussion back and forth and the kids can post too, or is it just you?
So you can choose how you want to use it. So I have it where if I post something, the kids can comment on it. But all I did, if you want to change that, you go to the little settings, which is the gear, you go down to stream, and then you can make it where students can post and comment, students can only comment, or only teachers can post and comment. So it's really up to you what you want to use your stream for, but that's how you can change it kind of based on whatever you need for that class.
What would be an example of why you would want a student to post something? Do you ever have the students post?
Yeah, in some of my classes, I'll have them post or allow them to post, just because if they have questions, that way when I get on Google Classroom, it shows up. So that's the reason why. I wouldn't use the stream as like a discussion. I'll show y'all how to do if you want to do a discussion question, just because that can get very cluttered very quickly. But a lot of times I'll keep it where students can post and comment, simply so if they have a question, it's right there. And then as soon as I get on, I see it. And then once I answer it, I delete it, so that way it's off the stream. And if you want to change the photo or theme, it's just right here. Okay, so classwork. Okay, so the greatest thing about Google Classroom is topics. So if you go down here to create and topic, you can add a topic. That's how I get these headings, like daily attendance, lesson 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It just organizes the information in a way that's a lot easier for the kids to see. Because if you don't, like this was a Google Classroom I had last year. It looks like this, which is fine. And this was fine for what we did last year because it was just a weekly assignment. But during the school year, it was an absolute mess because I would post something and the kids would have to try to hunt it down. So the topics are awesome because it just organizes the information. You know, the kid gets on, they know we're on lesson 3, and then they're there. So yes, so that's classwork. So that's how you create a topic. So you just go to create topic. So then how you create an assignment is just create assignment. You put your title. I always put like whatever. So in my video lessons, I go through the notes and then explain the assignment. Whatever I say in the assignment, I also post in the instructions, just so that way every single person knows what they're doing, whether they weren't paying attention to the video, didn't watch it, whatever. So I really recommend that. It's just going to make your life easier if you take the 2 seconds to write out whatever you said in the video as the instructions for assignment. Also post it in the instructions on the assignment in Google Classroom, because then you're just there's no, well, I didn't know what to do, because you've posted it in 2 spots. So that's how you title the instructions. So add, this would be if I want to, if I like made a file and I wanted to add it, or YouTube links. So if I want to do a file, sorry, my internet is slow. And it will show me my recent files that I've done in my teacher Google Classroom, or I can upload. Let's say I want to do this. Yeah, this is what I'm assigning. I'm assigning this scene. So I click choose, I let it upload. So this is really important. It'll automatically be to students can view file, which literally means that they can just view it. Students can edit file. That's if you want them to be able to edit the file for some reason. That's good for like group work if they're working on something, or make a copy for each student. If you make a copy for each student, then they each get a copy of it. Then they can edit the document directly on it. Instead of having to, if it's just view, then they have to like copy paste, and it's an extra step for them. So anytime I do any sort of Google Doc, I always do make a copy for each student, and then they know they have a copy. And then if you come over here, this is another place that, you know, if this assignment is going to be for multiple classes, I can post it in all of them. Or let's say it's just for production 1, but let me show you on this. I don't have students in here. So when you get students in here, all students, this is a really good spot if, you know, because of kids 504s, Maybe their assignment is, you know, they only have to do half of the assignment. This is a way that you can assign by the all students and clicking students. You can assign that document just for certain students. So I used that last semester when we were online, when I had some kids with a 504 that their 504 allowed them to do, I think it was like 20% less than what everyone else was doing. So what I would do is I would create, you know, if it was 10 questions, I'd create a document that has the 10 questions, would it assign that to the kids who don't have the 504, and then would make another document with 2 less questions, and then would assign it to the kids with the 504. So that's really, really a good tool for just making sure you're following those 504s and IEPs and making sure that we're doing what we can for the kids. And then due dates, you click what you want, and then you can put in a time that you want it due. And then topic, this is where once you create all your topics and you assign something, you can say which topic you want it under. So if I want it on lesson 1, it's going to be due tomorrow at 11:59. And then you can also upload a rubric. And then once I have all that, and I press assign, so I just saw, Marcia, I just saw your question in the chat. So the Google Classrooms, do them through your Fort Worth ISD account.
What?
So she says, do you have a Google Classroom for Fort Worth, or are you using your personal account? How can I separate the two? Do all of your Google Classrooms through your Fort Worth ISD account. Like I said, I just do my Drive, like the handouts and stuff. I do that through my personal, but I save it in 2 separate spots. I just basically, I'm very worried about losing everything. So I try to do everything I can. But yes, Google Classroom, make sure you do that through your Fort Worth ISD account, because Fort Worth ISD has some restrictions. And like, so yeah, do it through your Google Fort Worth ISD account.
Bentley, if I can interject for a second, you can actually make a Chrome account for your Fort Worth ISD or Fort Worth ISD account, which makes it easier to keep it separate. So like when you're doing things like going to Slide Carnival or things like that, it'll automatically go to your school account rather than your personal. And so once I learned that this summer, it's kind of been a game changer. So do create a separate Chrome account for Fort Worth ISD.
Yeah. But yes, so that's how you create that. And then this is what the kids see. So, you know, when they get on here, in addition to having my calendar, they can look at the lessons and see, okay, this is due September 13th. That is due September 10th. And it just makes life a lot easier for them. So what I did, like I said, what, Glenn?
Sorry. Hey, when you put a due date and time, does it cut it off at that time and they're not able to submit?
No,
they timestamp it.
It'll timestamp it. So I'm going to show you what it actually looks like. So this is from last year. So this is what it looks like when kids actually turn things in. So, okay, so I see that, you know, I graded this. So view assignment, and it's going to tell me who's missing the assignment and who turned it in late. It'll tell you right here. It doesn't say right here because they were great, since I already graded them. But when you click on view assignment, it'll say missing. It'll say, you know, turned in, and it'll give you the date, and then it'll say in red, turned in late. So it makes it really easy. And I will show you all more of that in a second. Okay, so some things that I've done, and I got some feedback from the kids and they like it. I do everything by lessons, and I posted these in the order that I go through them on the video. So like, you know, I have my video lesson number 1, I have the link to my YouTube page that has that video. And in the video, I cover the handbook, syllabus, and then I say in my video, okay, now please pause this video and go take your syllabus and handbook quiz. And then I explain this assignment. And so the kids like that I chunked it like this, just because it makes it really easy for them to literally follow along. They click on the video, click on that, it takes them to the video, and then they can literally follow along in order with what I'm doing. This synchronous class, this is where I'm going to be posting the links to the recordings of the synchronous live classes that we're going to have. You have to post them to Google Classroom. So links were an easier way for me to do it, rather than having to try to upload that whole file. So like, since this is a full week, I just said weekly synchronous class links and then put the dates. So then I would have 3 links going to the different videos. So if a kid didn't attend the synchronous class time, they can still see what we covered and talked about. Yes. Okay. So that is just how to create an assignment. And you can also, like, I use Google Form. I'm using Google Forms for pretty much everything this year. And so, you know, if I'm creating an assignment and I want to create a Google form, if you press create, you can then create a doc, slide, sheets, drawings, or forms. And on forms, it'll generate this, click on it, and then you change the title. And what's really nice about forms is you can do multiple choice, short answer, paragraph, checkboxes, drop down, file upload. I mean, you can do tons of stuff on Google Forms. So all my quizzes I'm doing through Google Forms. So what is my name? That's the question. Whatever. And if you click required, if you don't click required, they aren't required to answer the question. And then you can also put pictures. So I use the pictures a lot when I was doing, I did a quiz on different types of stages. And so I would put a picture of, you know, a proscenium stage and then ask the question, what type of stage is this? So that's how you can do that. And then you can add new questions. And so, yeah, that's kind of the basics of forms. It's really, really awesome and really easy to use. So then you also have quiz assignments. So a quiz assignment is the same thing as a form, but you can actually, it'll grade it for you. So, you know, if I type in a question, what is my favorite color? And you go to, I make it required. I go down to my answer key. You can assign different points to it. So you can have, you know, a 10-question quiz, the 5-question quiz, and then you click what is the correct answer, done. And then it literally grades it for you. On quizzes though, I found out that when it grades it for you, it tends to give you the student's email address and not their name. So I always make the first question on my quiz, what is your name? Just so I don't have to go hunt down what their student email addresses are. It's right there at the top. Yes, so far? Any questions so far? Yes, I will, after I go through this, if Glenn will let me, I'll show y'all Canva real quick. Annika asked, could we get a template of my calendar with the due dates? Yes, 1000%. Canva's my best friend. I'll show y'all how to do it. It's best. But yes, so that's Google. And then, so yes. And then you would, if it's a quiz, you would do the same thing, due dates, topics, which classes or students you want it to be assigned to, and then press post. And then this is it. So this is what it looks like when it's completed. So they have their name, questions, they would press submit. And you can, on quizzes, I always do grade importing. You can also do where it locks it on Chromebooks, meaning that they can, if they're not on a Chromebook, they can't open the document. So that, I'm trying to think. But yeah, I mean, I have everything posted on here. I have some PowerPoints, quizzes, I have images, scenes, everything. So 2 things I wanted to show y'all. I found these out through other teachers that are smart, and I stole their ideas. So one thing is with Google Classroom is, you know, looking at one from last year, like a completed one. So I have all these assignments, and what I do is, especially when we went online, is at the end of every week on Friday, like after school hours, I check, and anyone that's missing anything, I email their parents saying, hey, you know, Sally didn't turn in this week's assignment. Like, here is when it's due. And And then I had this happen last year where a kid turned it in late, and I didn't know that they turned it in late for like 3 weeks. So they just had a 0 in the grade book. So I found this out from another teacher. She just did a form at the very top for late work. So anytime someone submits something late, they fill out this form, and then she just made it a habit of every day before, like it was the last thing she did, she would check this form, and then if anyone turned in anything late, she has record of when they did it. And it seemed to help a lot, so I'm trying it out, and I'm hoping it'll help me remember to check things. The other thing that I stole from someone else is, so we have to take attendance, right? And because the kids aren't required to attend those like synchronous lessons where we're actually like on a Zoom or Google Meet talking with them, it can make attendance tricky. And basically the district said you can take attendance however you want. You know, it can be submitting an assignment or doing whatever. I made a Google form that everyone, whether they're attending the synchronous lessons or not, will fill out. So this way I have record of exactly who has been there, and I'm gonna be using this for my attendance. So it just name, class name, today's date, how are they feeling, do they need help, do they need to schedule some office hour time? Because with online learning, you need to document everything. So this is a way of me just being safe. Because now I'll have, because Google Docs timestamps everything, or Google Forms timestamps everything, I'll be able to know who is there, and then I can do my attendance accurately, because I'm bad about that. Okay. Okay, so now I'm gonna show you what it actually looks like when they turn in something. So like I said, you go to view assignment, and this is what it would look like. Okay, I can see right away that Ivy and Sam did not turn in anything. I would put 0s for them. So something I do want to show you. Okay, you know, he put in his thing. And then, so this is where you'll put in your grade. So I look through his assignment, and then I put in the grade, and then to actually grade it, you would press return. It's just grayed out because I've already returned this assignment. Something that's really nice is the comment bank. So right over here, it says grading, comment bank. You can put the comments that because you will find you tend to do like the same 5 comments over and over and over again. You can put these, and then you just copy paste, and then it's there, and it makes life a lot easier. So use the comment bank. It's gonna save you time. Learn from someone who got really tired of typing out excellent work. Yes, and then you return, and then to go to a different student's assignment, you just press this arrow, and it'll show you. And so, yeah. So that's what it looks like from your end. And then it makes it easy for grades. And so like you can see here, over on the side, ignore their names, is it tells me who turned in the assignment late. So this was done late, this was done late, these 2 are missing. So Google does a good job of kind of making it easy for you. Any questions? Fantastic. Okay. Yes.
Hey, Bentley.
Yeah.
There is talk about the relationship between your Google Classroom and Focus. Is there anything that is auto-generated? Is there anything that crosses over, or do you manually have to put everything over into Focus? Is there any connection between the two?
So Tiffany, you may be able to answer that better than I can, because I know the district was working on fixing that.
As far as I know, there's not a crossover yet.
Okay.
So I found just for myself with doing flex classes, I just print it out and kind of have like a paper copy so that it makes it easier then to add them in when I'm putting them in a different location.
Yeah. So as of right now, no. But what I would do, I'll go back to an assignment, is I grade everything first, go to view assignment, and then I would just pull up focus, and because that way it literally, I just go down the line. And it makes it a little easier. So yeah, as of right now, it doesn't automatically like put it into focus. But when the grades are all there, it's pretty easy. There was a question. So yeah, so Aaron, so Aaron's question was, so when someone turns in something late, they would need to fill out the late form as well. That's how I'm doing it this year. Like I said, I stole that from a different teacher, just because, you know, because so last semester, we were pass fail. And so I accepted late work like 5 weeks late. I just was like, get it in. I'll give you some credit. And so I had kids that would, you know, it would be week number 5, but they would turn in the assignment for like week number 1, and I wouldn't go back and check it. So yeah, so the late form is just, it's really for me, just to let me know, hey, I did turn that in late. Please go look at it and update my grade. Especially because, I mean, I do have a lot of assignments on here, and I don't want us to get to week, you know, lesson 5, someone finally, you know, turned this in late and me not see it and not give them any credit. Good. Heard that you can. Yes, you can. I believe. I've never done the exporting grades on Google Classroom as a CVS. I've never done the spreadsheet thing, but I know you. I think you can probably. Yes. Okay. So that is kind of just the basics of Google Classroom. It's great. And if you're going to be using Google Meets, it automatically generates the link, which is really, really nice. And then what's nice for the kids is, so, you know, they'll be in all of their Google Classrooms. Up here, it's to do, and it'll literally tell them for all their classes what's assigned, what are they missing, and what have they done. So that's just nice for them. I'm in a couple, so I found that out today that it does that, which is really nice. Any other questions about Google Classrooms or Drive? No. Do y'all feel okay about your Google Sites? Are those going okay? Yeah. Great. Cool. Okay. Glenn, do you have anything that you want me to add, or do you want me to show Canva while you're talking? I'm going to show Canva. So someone asked about my template that I used for this. Okay.
Okay, sorry. Yeah.
I was just going to keep.
Have we answered all the questions over here?
I just saw this. They don't. Okay, sorry. I just saw the chat. Hi. Okay, attendance question. So I am having everyone do the attendance form, just like I said, so that way I have a record. Like I said, and that's just how I'm doing it. You can take attendance. The district literally said, like, however you want to take attendance is fine. You could do, I know some teachers that are doing a discussion question for their attendance. So all you would do for that is create question. And then, you know, you put the due date is, so if I'm taking attendance for the 8th, great. And then I would ask it. So that's another way. I'm trying the form, and we're gonna see how we like it. I may change my mind. But yeah, so you can do discussion questions for attendance. You can count, you know, if something is due that day and they upload it, that can be attendance. Yeah, the district said you can do whatever you want for attendance. So I'm just doing the forms because that's what I'm doing, but you can do whatever you want. Yes, my attendance form. So yeah, I just kept it really simple. Their name, class name, today's date, how are they feeling? Just as kind of a check-in, you know, if someone says they're not doing too good, then I'm going to reach out to them personally and just make sure they're doing okay. Just because quarantine's hard. It's really hard. Is there anything they need help with? And then do they need to schedule a time for me during office hours?
Hey, continuing a second, I wanted to make sure that everybody looked over to the chat area. Tiffany put in how to access Google. It's always a little strange because you have to add in teachers before you put, you can't just put in fwsd.org. You have to put in teachers.fwsd.org to be able to then access MyFWSD and then get to your Google Drive because that's the address that you'll use rather than just your first name, last name, fwsd.org. Does that make sense? Did I say that right?
Yes, and before we can add you to shared drives, you have to have logged into that. So some of you I've added to our shared drive with your personal accounts. I can add you to your Fort Worth ISD account once you've signed in for the first time. And you can send me an email and I can update that for you.
So answering another question, why would you join another teacher's classroom? So my campus is using Google Classrooms. Like we're using one for our VPA Academy and virtual teaching and some campus data. So that's why I'm like enrolled in some is for that. And also if you're co-teaching a class, like my musical theater class, I'm co-teaching it with the dance and choir teacher. And you can have multiple people as teachers. So you just go to people, the plus sign, and then would type in the email so as you can see me, Miss Williams, and our choir teacher are all going to be teachers in the class. And if we can all grade things. The only thing they can't do is they just can't like delete the class because since I'm the creator. But yeah, so you can, that's why you would add it or add another teacher's classroom is if you are co-teaching it. Or like someone said, to get some ideas and then you can kick yourself out of it. So just another thing with this, I forgot to show y'all, is you can also reuse post. So if I'm on production 2 and I go to reuse, I posted something in production 1 that I forgot to click the box and I want to just reuse it. If you go to create, reuse post, I can click on any one of my classes. I want to use that. And then you just, I pick what lesson it needs to go to, post, and then it'll be there. So that's another really easy way of how you can reuse post across all of your Google Classrooms since you have one for each class. Okay, I think I answered all the questions. Cool. Okay, if you have any other questions, just ask. Glenn, do you want me to show them Canva real quick?
Yeah, we can. Tiffany, is there anything else that you thought that may need to be addressed with the Google Classroom with the basics or?
No, I think that's great. Thank you, Bentley. That was very thorough. Probably we do want to end this part at 10:20 to give them another 10-minute break in between the 2 sessions.
Okay, so go ahead and plow into Canva.
Yay!
Canva, is it Canvas or Canva?
Canva, okay.
Okay.
So oh man, theater teachers, Canva's your best friend. I use Canva for everything. So this
and art teachers.
And art teachers, oh my gosh, yes. So you make an account. They do have an educator. And if you sign up for the educator one, you get their pro version for free. You just have to like apply. So you got to create a design. So basically Canva is an online graphic design tool that is excruciatingly easy to use. I use it. I also have my kids use it for everything. So if you go to create a design, it gives you, if I want to make a poster, calendar. So like, this is how I made my due date calendar. Infographic, business card, Facebook post, video, flyer. I mean, They have everything. But if I'm wanting to make a poster, I click on that. And what's really nice, like when you're first starting out, is they have templates for you to use. I used the templates a lot when I was first learning the program because, I mean, they're free and easy to use. So you just click it, and any template, you can change anything about it. So you can change what it says, the font, colors. I mean, you can do anything. You can get rid of the background, anything. So that's like the templates. You can upload pictures. They have thousands of photos. So like I used this for Greek theater the other day, typed in Greek theater, and they have all these images for free for me to use. Elements, they have shapes, lines, frames for photos, stickers, charts, grids, but they also have a whole bunch of illustrations. So I use elements and a lot of the illustrations for a lot of my t-shirt and program design. So I can type in theater, and it has all of these things. And sometimes to find what you look for, you have to type in something very specific. But I mean, they're all absolutely free to use, which are awesome. Text, they have thousands of text that you can use. You can do videos, you can do backgrounds. Yeah, I mean, it is like the greatest program. So like some of the things I've made on it, I made all of my due date calendars. I made my syllabuses on here because you can just make them look more inviting. You can do photos. I did a brochure for my program. I do all of my playbills on here, posters for the shows. I mean, any t-shirt designs, like anything and everything that I can do on Canva, I do on Canva. And then you can just download them as PDFs, JPEGs, PNGs, anything you want. And it makes life really easy. So yeah, so whoever asked how I made my, this, I used a template, I wrote the information out, put shapes and put some text, and then just downloaded it as a PDF and posted it for my kids. And it's that easy. It's the greatest program. Use it. They don't pay me money, but I feel like I should get money for it because I am the biggest Canva supporter on the planet. And like a lot of my assignments that I do for my kids, like the first thing they have to do is make an infographic. They use Canva to do it. I taught a class last year called Theater and Media Communications, and the kids use this to create full playbills. I mean, it is just, and what's great is it saves automatically just like Google. And so, and because it's a website, you can access it on any computer. They even have an app on your phone, and then you can just edit them and save them forever, and it's the best. So yes, that is Canva. It's the greatest program. Big fan. Does anyone have any other questions for me? I know that was really fast.
No, that was awesome. Thank you, Bentley.
You're welcome.
Google Classroom, if you have not used it ever, it takes some time to get used to it. But once you practice in it and get fluent in Google Classroom, it does make life a little simpler in some ways. I'm one of those people that were a little bit older and had been teaching a long time before Google Classroom became a thing. So it took me a little bit of time to learn it, but it does make some things much easier. But you have to stay with it. If you go some time without keeping your Google Classroom updated, it takes a long time to get it back working to where you want it. So it is user friendly. You just have to learn the system and learn how to do it, but you'll get there.
And I just posted my email in the chat. If throughout the year, if y'all have any questions about anything, feel free to ask me. I learn things every day, but I like sharing what I learn, and I guarantee you can teach me things. So that's my email. If you have any questions throughout the year, feel free to shoot me an email. And yeah, y'all are gonna rock it.
Thank you, Bentley. If you are having some type of technology issues, you can't get your email password or something like that, use Let's Talk to open a ticket for the technology department. I know we used to have a help desk that would answer the phone, but that is not happening right now. So Let's Talk is the fastest and best way to get support with technology of any kind. They actually kind of track and see how long it takes them to respond to calls. And so that is your best bet. So use Let's Talk. You can get to it from the homepage. So our next session will start in 15 minutes. So you are welcome to turn off your screen and take a short break, and we'll see you back at 10:30. Whew. It's hard to have like set things we have to do. All the edits to the what's it called? Yeah. Right. Oh, okay.
What just happened here?
thought my sound wasn't working when I got on, Tiffany.
Oh. Well, thanks for joining us.
No problem. How many new teachers are there? I didn't scroll down.
There are 17 in art. We don't have all of them on today. And then 2 in dance and theater.
Wow.
We're actually lower than we have been in past years. I think we were at least in the 20s last year. And I guess before that, it was always like the 30s. So we're doing a little bit better with retention.
Wow. Still a lot.
Yeah. We had also several that retired that I don't know that they would have retired this year without everything else, but they're like, yeah, and I'm out. Peace.
Yeah, I understand that. Our librarian did. Her husband had some health things and he's a CPA. And so if she kept working, they were going to have to hire somebody for the office. So it was just easier for her to do that.
Yeah. All right, well, welcome back, everyone. We have Deborah Down with us. She is an art teacher at Daggett Elementary, and she's one of our master art teachers, and she is also the one who's putting together our virtual instruction for elementary art. And so she has such fabulous Google Slides that I asked her if she would be willing to give you a tutorial, and so I'm going to turn the time over to her. Let me stop sharing. There you go.
There you go. Thank you. Good morning. I'm going to find our presentation here. There we go. So Google Slides are, that's not the one I want. Here we go. Google Slides are really easy to use if you've ever used PowerPoint, and if you haven't, they're still pretty simple to catch on with. Since we're using Google Classroom, it makes sense to use Google Slides because they integrate pretty easily into it. So this is me, and you can use Bitmoji, you can flash them in there like that. There's also other things that you can use to put into Google Slides like Pear Deck. It's going to go really well with your Google site. And all this is supported by our EdTech technology department, which is very helpful. So the first thing I'm going to show you here, and we're going to pop out of this, is there's different resources you can use. There's a lot of different templates you can use, and there are sites that have them for free, so don't purchase anything. What I try and do is go through and find ones that go with the lesson I'm doing, and I'll show you that in a second. But we'll look at Slidesmania here, and is it gonna let me go over? There it is. Look, I use it so much, it's right here. So you just go to Slidesmania or Slides Carnival, and it has a lot of options at the top, or you can just start looking through and finding one that you like. So as you go through and look, there are more pages of them. You can sort up here at the top. And once you find one that you want, let's do, there's some planners. Let's pick this one. So I'm just going to click on this. And it shows me what it looks like. This is a main slide. There's some other slides it has here. And then you just go down until you see it again, and you have the option to open it in Google Slides. That's what you'll choose because you're using it in Slides. And I'm going to look at it and say, okay, this is the one I want. Then there's a button up here to use it as a template. So you don't have to create it again. You just go through and use it as a template. And it's going to convert it here for me. So it's all set. This will be saved in my drive. So if I find one I like, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to save like a blank copy of it, a master copy. So if I want to use it again, I don't have to go through and figure out where that came from. To do that, you're just going to click on File, Make a Copy, Entire Presentation. And when you do any sort of copy, you're going to make sure that you're in your drive. It says My Drive, so I know that I'm saving that in my personal drive. If it says Shared Drive, that means you're saving it for the whole art department, and you don't want to do that. So I'm going to do that. So that's my blank copy. Now I can go back to my original. It gives you all the different slides over here. And like I said, it's very similar to PowerPoint in the fact that you can just move these around. There's different ones. I like to highlight these because almost all of them have your different devices over here. So when you're making your virtual lesson, I usually use this one and then put a picture of my example to remind students that they need to take a picture and submit it into their Google Classroom. So these are really easy to use over here. If you want to use a slide more than once, you simply click on it and then you're going to duplicate it and it will make an additional slide there, and you can move it around wherever you want it. At the very bottom, you're going to have different icons that you can pull and use into your other slides if you want to add some of these things in here. So that makes it really simple. And what we're on right now is Slides Mania. Slides Carnival also has examples, and Slides Go also has examples. So I need to get back up here to the top. That's the one I want. So let's go back here to present. That's the first thing, is that you can go to these places and find these resources. And I will put this, it might already be on the shared drive, but if not, I'll show you where to find it. So when you create a presentation with Google Slides, what I simply do is make it into my lesson, and then I record a video that has my picture on the screen as I'm going through the lesson, and I upload that video and the slide into my Google Classroom. So the students can work through it at their own pace, but they can go through and use the video when they need, you know, to see what I'm showing them for this. Now let's see if we can move this over here. So to get to your slide, you're going to do it from your Google slide. So we have to go back over here. So this is my drive right here, and I'm going to have to move us again to get to Google Slides. And this is if you're not using one of those templates, just to create a blank one. You click on New, and you can see that Google Slides is one of the options that you have. You just click on that and it's going to start a new slide deck. I'll show you in just a second. But when you click on More, this is where you get to all those other features that Google has. But we're going to do a Google Slides, so you just simply click on Google Slides. And then it started a brand new slide deck for us right here. So that is the simplest thing to do. So that's not what I want. Let's go to, oh, I can't find it. There it is. So we're back here. That's how you're going to do it. And then if you're using one of those templates, like I said, you go to whatever site the template is and then use it in Google Slides. When you're doing it, you want to always make sure that you're in your Fort Worth ISD Google account, and that's written down here. It's your first name dot last name at teachers.fortworthisd.org. This is especially important if you have a personal Google account and you're doing stuff back and forth. You want to make sure that you're in the right account. This is important when you're taking courses so you get credit. When you're doing everything, and that makes sure it's saving it into the right drive for you. You can add audio, you can add video, you can add images. I'm not going to go through and show you all this, but this gives you a short little tutorial on how to do that. One of the things I like about it is you can put links on images, and I'll show you that in a second in that Bitmoji classroom. But you can have a picture and, you know, click here if you need help. Students can click on that and it's going to give them further instructions. So this is another feature that's really cool about Google Slides is your Explorer screen. So if you're working, when you're working, you're not in present mode, which is what I was in a minute ago. So when I'm working, this is the mode I have over here, and it's got all my other slides on the left side. And Explore button is down here at the bottom right. And when you click on that, it brings it up over here, and this just automatically brings me to the web. So I can look up whatever I want. Say I'm working on something with Claude Monet, that I can pop that up and everything's going to come up over here. So maybe I want to add an image. Maybe I want to do this one. I'm going to click on it, and then it's going to pull, oh, it's not going to let me do that one. I'm going to pick a different one. but then it's going to put it right up in here. If you just want to use the image, you're going to need to click on this remove link button. Otherwise, it's going to be set as a link. And when they click on that, they have these other resources that's available. So that is one of the cool things that you can do with our Explore feature. Pull it back over here. So the background is something else. This is part of the slide deck that I chose, has these different colors over here, but that you can change it. And again, we have to get out of present mode to do that. But once we're here in our working mode, you can see we have the background choice up here. So I'm going to click on that. And then I'm going to click on my color, and then it gives you down here. So the custom, this is what was set in this slide deck, the templates that I chose. I can go to other ones if I want, solid ones or gradients, and it will change that color. So I'm going to go ahead and change this one over here. Now I'm going to click done, and I just changed it. That's what it looks like. So when you click on that and see, it's going to show you what options you have, because some of them have a lot of other things besides this. Just has the one colored area. If it has multiple areas, it's going to show you what it's going to change. So you can also do background images, and this is a video that's going to show you how to do that. When you're using background images, you can set them and lock them in. So if students are going to go through and add things to your slide deck, you can do that as part of an assignment. Student completes their work and each one of them creates a new slide. You can have them do that, but so where they can't get to some of the other features that you want left on there. So when you add a link, the link part is really, really simple. And I'm going to get out of this again. Go up here. When you hit insert, I'm going to click on something. So I want to add a link to this right here. So I've highlighted this text. I'm going to pull it up. All I did was right click, and you click on link, and it's going to give you a choice. You can actually link to things in your own presentation if you want to, or you can copy and paste your URL wherever you want, and then that makes this a clickable link. You can do the same thing with a photo. You simply click on the photo and then go through and add your link. When you right click, if it doesn't show up, when you're on your photo, just click up here to insert, and link will be one of your options. Now over here, this is just an example of a link. When you click on that, it will come up. If you have old PowerPoints that you want to use, you can still use them. You can convert them into Google Slides. Because the two are so similar, it seamlessly goes together, and this just shows you how to do that. When you add a video, this is one of the things that's really cool about Google Slides, is when you go to add a video, it's going to give you some other options. So let's come over here. So maybe we want a video. So say I want to do this video right here. So I'm going to click on it. There it is. We're going to stop that. I'm going to copy it. I'm going to try and get back to my presentation. Potentially, if it will let me. There. Nope. I'm going to have to wait each time. It's the only thing about Zoom I don't like. No, this one. I'll show you this in a second though. This is pretty cool. One more time. There we are. So when you're going to insert a video, you hit insert over here. You're going to click on video, and then you can do it by URL. You can do it by YouTube, and I think this was a YouTube, so I can paste it right here, or you can pull something up from your drive. So I'm going to insert that. I'm going to click on that. That's the one that I want. And I think I have to move everybody because I've clicked on that. So you see the blue, it's highlighted there. I'm going to select it. And now here is my video. And you can change the size of this, of course. When you change the size of something to keep the aspect ratio, you're going to have to pull from a corner, otherwise it will get kind of skewed. But over here, you can see this box has opened, and these are our format options. I can choose to start this video at a different point. I can choose to end the video before we get all the way to the end. I can also choose down here to autoplay this video. So when a student is watching it in presentation mode and they go to that slide, the video will automatically start when they're on that. So those are some pretty cool features that you have that you don't have in other things that you use. So let's go back up here. So there's our little video. Bitmoji is something else that's been pretty popular lately. And if you click down here, this is a link, how to create a Bitmoji classroom. There's a lot of different things you can do. So I've set mine up, and these are links that you click on this, you're going to get resources. You're going to click on this, and it's another link. This actually is a lesson that comes up as Google Slides. And over here, this is a read along. So those are cool things that you can do with it. To put in your classroom. There are some good templates that I showed you before in some of those areas. There was a good one that's a Meet the Teacher that you can use that. All these things, it's pretty simple. You just have to find your images and put them together. And there's a resource I have later on in the slides that actually tells you a lot more about that, because there's a first grade teacher out there that has created like hundreds of scenes, and she has shared them. And so you can go through and pick what you want in different pieces, all the way down to the background, to the pieces of furniture, and you just put your own together. That's kind of cool. So this is right here. When you click on this, that's going to get you to the Bitmoji. There's a ton of resources on there, and that's the things you can use if you want to make your own. If you are new, I'm going to encourage you not to start off doing this, because it is easy to get sucked in and spend hours and hours and hours on it. And there's other things as a new teacher that you need to be doing. So if you want to do a custom slide deck, you can also do that. And there's a video on this one that shows you how to do that. When you go through, and I've moved this, when you go through and create a new slide deck right here, over here, it gives you some pretty basic choices over here. I'm in the light one. I can do the dark one over here, or here's just another simple one. There are things that you can do to actually make your own, because those free sites I showed you, people have just gone through and made those. So it's not that difficult to do. Now this is going to let me move this down. It will. Yay. There we go. Nope. So the good thing about using Google Slides is it's going to automatically save for you. You don't have to go through and keep saving it. That is really helpful. The campus I was at, we had a couple of times where the internet went out and I was working on something, and that is very frustrating if you're working on something that does not automatically save, because everything back to the point that you last saved, you're going to lose. So this makes it super simple to do that. And you can also create folders. And folders I will encourage you to use, because if you start using your Google Drive a lot, like I do, what happens is you get a whole bunch of stuff in here. So when you use Google Drive, this is the folder I created for all of the master copies of the different slide decks I have. So it's in one place. It's very simple for me to find. What I've also done here is my lessons. So the lessons for this year, I've got them all here. It does have a search feature up here, so you can go through and look for things and find them that way. But this makes it really, really simple for you to do. Hop on over here. So one thing, this part is probably the most important thing I'm going to tell you. There are lessons that are on the shared drive. Hopefully Tiffany has showed you where that is. I'll show you in just a second. But when you go to use those, it's important that you pull it out and make a copy in your own drive. What happens is people go in there and then make their copies, and it changes that original for everyone. So it's really important that you're going to make sure that you're in your own drive. And to do that, so we're going to do this. I'll just do this one right here. So you're going to click on File. You're going to click on Make a Copy, and of course you want to do the entire presentation. So I'm already in my drive, but let's just say that I was in, I want to move this, I was in the shared drive. So maybe I was over here in the visual arts, but I don't want it to be there. You're going to click and go back until you get it to your drive. And if you're in your drive and you have your different folders, then you can choose that way. And so it's in essence a digital filing system that you can put it and save it exactly where you want it, and then you'll be able to find it much more easily. We're going to cancel that out. So make sure that you're always in, when you're saving something, that you make a copy and then you go back to your drive. You can put things from your drive also into the shared drive. So just make sure that when you're doing something that you look at that to see what it is that you're doing. So this is another feature that's pretty cool that you're going to want to use. We're going to go up here for this. This is, well, we'll go back here in the middle. Pear Deck is pretty cool because the district has paid for the upgraded one for us. And Pear Deck is something that is exclusively designed to use with Google Slides. And especially with all the things we have going on right now, Pear Deck is an awesome thing to use with your students because there's a lot of social emotional things you can do in there to help engage your students. You can also use it to get feedback because when you're teaching lessons in person, you need to be doing those checks for formative assessment. It varies from campus to campus, but usually they're going to want you to do one every 10 or 15 minutes to make sure your students are in tune with what you're doing and you don't need to make some adjustments. Pear Deck is a great way to do that. I have the add-on, obviously, so it's right up here. It's on my toolbar in the top, and once you sign up for it, if you sign up with your Fort Worth ISD account, that Google account that's right up here, it's going to automatically upgrade you because, again, the district has paid for the paid features on that. When you go to Pear Deck, see if it's going to let me do this. It pops up over here, and as you can tell with most things, when you're working in Google Slides, everything that comes up is going to appear over here in this right column. So it comes up and you have some different choices. Draggable, when you create a draggable, that's the student has a symbol that they can pull and move to a certain area to answer a question. You can have them draw something, which is really cool. There's different numbers. You can do a multiple choice. There's also ones that are already made, and that is going to be your template library here. And so it gives you choices of if you're using this at the beginning of a lesson, during a lesson, at the end of a lesson. It's got exit tickets on here. These things are already made. So that is really cool for you to use. You can make your own, but again, you don't have to. Your social emotional ones are going to be over here, and it's going to give you some examples here, and you just click on that and it puts it there into your slide. So when you're doing that, and when you have a slide that is from Pear Deck, I'm looking to see, here we go. Let's go back over here so you can see it a little bit better. So that's where you find them. And then this is one I've added right here. So this is actually a Pear Deck slide. So your students choose this icon down here that just disappeared behind my exit. It's the little blue dot. They move it to how they are today. And what you need to teach them is just when they see a pear right here on a slide, that's when they need to respond. So it's really simple. Even the youngest students can do this. Makes it simple to use. So there are a lot of different technology things you can use, and the district is great about offering training. Usually there are trainings in person, but obviously right now they're not. So there's a lot of things online. I think you'll be doing some of them next week, but in addition to the ones that you're doing, there are additional ones that you can do. I'm sure that Tiffany has gone over all the different flex hours and everything you have to do. You can also accrue, let me move this over here. Another thing that's unique to Fort Worth ISD is you can take technology courses, and instead of getting a flex credit for it, you can get integration credit. And what that simply means is that you earn points. Each course is worth a certain number of points. Those integration credits, you accrue your points, and then you can earn technology. My mouse right here, I earned it because I do not do well messing with my pad here on the laptop. I've earned Chromebooks, you can earn iPads, all sorts of different things. And it's just for taking those technology courses that you kind of need to take anyway. So that's something else that can really help you with that. The technology stays with you as long as you're in the district teaching in the classroom. So if you move, I have 3 Chromebooks, a document camera, my mouse, something else, and I moved schools this year, all that stuff comes with me. I'm still in Fort Worth ISD, I'm still in a classroom, so I still have those resources. So that's something that's really cool that you can do when you take your flex courses. So there are 2 different courses that the district offers for the Google Slides. There's a beginner and there's an advanced. Again, you can do them as flex or you can do them for integration credit. And there is my thank you slide, and we're going to stop sharing this, and I'm going to show you one more quick thing. So Bitmoji Classroom, this is one of the ones that I've kind of doctored up here. This is one of the ones from We Are Teachers that a first grade teacher made, and she has 12 different Artist of the Month scenes. So of course we have Kandinsky here. These are all links. You click on them and there's different things to do. So I'm going to move this over here. Y'all don't really need to see me, but you have books over here. You can link these and make these read alouds, which are great for younger students. These can be different lessons, different videos that they can watch. Then you can put a slide after this, that after they explore this, you can actually have the lesson that ties to this. That part is really helpful. So as I said, there are a lot of different ones. They have 12 different ones, and I finished doctoring all mine up last night. Somebody spent a lot of time on this, and all I did was change a few things to make it mine. But I've also started creating some additional ones. We are coming up on Hispanic Heritage Month, and we're going to be online for at least part of that. So I'm going to do a Hispanic Heritage classroom. We have a high Hispanic population in this district, but that's something else I will incorporate for the students to do that kind of personalizes and helps to engage those students. So the last thing I want to show you over here, let's go back into Drives. There is a slide section I've also made on how to make your Google site, because that's something else that you're going to do. And Tiffany, do you remember, is it New Teacher? I'm trying to think of what it is. This is it right here, and this is how to create a Google site. It's basically a Google Slides presentation that walks you through how to create it. So if you need further help, are they eligible to take classes yet, Tiffany?
It depends on if they have been processed and have their Fort Worth ISD email account. Once they have that email account, then yes, they can. Okay. And I can also share these documents with Glenn so he can get them on the shared drive for theater and dance.
Okay. my course on how to create a website, it is an example step by step of how to do it. It's slightly different in slides. I used Weebly, but that kind of walks them through it. That's why I was wondering. So yeah, that has that course. But you just simply click on this down here. Again, this is in the shared drive, and it walks you through how to do that. If you're kind of familiar with it, the process, I kind of have a table of contents here that you can jump through and see. Like if we jump over here onto this one, this is what it needs to be. This is my site here in the background, but these are the requirements of things that it needs to have in there. So that is going to help you when you make your Google site.
And will you show them again? Shauna asked to see the social and emotional resources. I believe that was
sure. So actually what I'm on right here, this is the week 3 lesson for elementary teachers. And this kind of is an example of how I use the different slide templates to kind of go with my lesson, because this one obviously we're looking at these, and so this has examples of it. But this Pear Deck slide is right here, and it's you teach your kids that when they see the pear, they're going to respond. And let's see if I can move this one up again, maybe up here. So it's hard to tell, but under here, when that goes away, there is a star down here, and they simply move it over to where they want. So when you are in, let's go back to this one.
Deborah, what I was making reference to is I'm in the Pear Deck looking at that page,
Yes.
and I'm trying to find that area in there where the shared information is located. That's what I was making reference to.
Okay, so if you click here on the Pear Deck, and I'm going to move
Okay.
us again.
I'm in it. Mm-hmm.
There we go. So it's that template library that's up here at the top.
Mine doesn't look like that.
Yeah, when you go and do it, you're going to need to make sure that you sign up. And when you sign up, you have to use your teacher account. That teachers.fortworthisd.org, that lets Pear Deck know that you are a part of Fort Worth ISD, and Fort Worth ISD has paid for the upgrade of that.
Okay, that's probably what's going on. I'm using my personal laptop to look and watching with my school district, my district laptop. So I'll check it out later.
Yeah, once you do that, then you can do that. But I can click on that here again and show you, because there's different ways to do it.
Okay.
Beginning of lesson, this gives you, and they're made to be buildable, that you can add your own, wording in here if that's the one you want.
Okay.
And then down here, this is another good one to use for how students are doing today, a simple thumbs up, thumbs down. Because especially with us being online, our students, we haven't seen them in person since the first week of March. And a lot of them, where they are, they don't have a lot of good support at home. And so we have to fill in those gaps, and getting them engaged. That's one more thing we can do. And in the spring, all this kind of was thrown on everyone, and I know engagement for a lot of students wasn't that great. Personally, at my campus, we didn't have a lot that got on there with us. And so that it makes it difficult to connect with a student that's not there, that you can see, that's reaching out to you, they're not answering the phone. So you want to do anything that you can that's going to help you connect with those students, to build those social emotional relationships, even though you're online. So I'm kind of in that situation this year because I'm at a new school. So I haven't met any of my 600 students, and the first time they're going to meet me is going to be online. So whatever I can do to help engage, that's going to be beneficial. And this is one of the things that you can do. When we look back at the different slide choices, there's different games you can do. And maybe during office hours, when I'm meeting with 5th grade, we're going to play a game. And so students come on, and we're all on there together working on something. And so I would definitely encourage you for those office hours, those times when you're online and students don't have questions, to do something that's going to help engage. At some point, you'll take restorative practices training, but again, that is an in-person training, And once you get it, it's going to give you some more ideas and more resources for kind of connecting with your kids, but that's what you really want to do. Are there any other questions right now? Okay. Tiffany, can you think of anything else?
No, I think that was very thorough. They do have to add Pear Deck as an extension to their Chrome, correct?
Right. When you do that, it appears right up here, like how mine is, the little pair with the Pear Deck on there. And so it doesn't go into Chrome so much as it goes into Google, and it appears on your Google Slides.
Okay. All right. Does anyone have any questions for Deborah before we let her go?
Stop that. There we go.
Yeah. Deborah, do you have, where in the shared drive was that slide that we were just looking at?
Let's see. We'll find it. So, which slide? Let's go back to
The one you just exit out of, the one that had the Pear Deck, one we were just on about how to create the Google.
Okay.
slide.
Have I uploaded this one yet, Tiffany? I don't remember.
I think you already have it in the new teacher.
Okay, let's look. So I'm in my drive here, and you just have to click over to the shared drives and then go into visual arts. And we'll go down here and we'll look in new teacher. This is where it will be if it's not there yet. How's that? Nope, it's not. But so what we're going to do that right now. Bum, 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 there it is. So what I'm going to do is I am going to make a copy of the entire presentation, and it's already in my drive. I want it to be in the shared drive. So I'm going to put it on the shared drive, and then visual arts. And then we're going to go down to that new teacher academy, and that's where we want it. So I'm going to move everybody again, and then I'm going to select. And I'm going to hit OK, because this means it's saying that the copy is going to be created in the shared folder. That's what I want it to do. So that's where it should be right now.
Thank you so much.
There we go. Now it's there.
Okay.
Deborah, do you have the Bitmoji backgrounds that the first grade teacher developed? Did you already put?
Yeah.
I don't see those listed.
So
That list.
when you go, let's look.
I'm looking at it right now.
So in my drive,
Copy of Google Slides. Oh no, that's not it. It just has dates in here.
this is it, and I might be able to find my email here in a second.
Okay.
So this is the teacher that did it, and these are her different links right here.
Mhm.
And again, she made 12. I'm adding some additional artists on one for me, but I can certainly share that. So it goes through, and she said all of these, but she also, let's see if we can find my email real quick. If I can. Dun, 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 dun. There we go. So we are teachers. You can sign up, and they don't bombard you with emails, but you get a few things, and it has some resources, which are kind of cool. And obviously this is one of them. So all of these are different ones to do. It shows you, let's see if I can move us over here. Okay. So this one, it shows you right here that you click here and you get this template. On this one, which is a great way to do it. Your Google Expectations, you're putting your own Bitmoji in there. That is very cool. And the template is down there. So all of these have clickable templates. This one was cool because you can do, imagine doing a virtual field trip in a museum, and all these are different links that you click on for the different works. I mean, there's so many different options to do. These are all links for read alouds for books, but the one that, trying to figure out which one it was. Let's see if I can find her. She has a whole lot of stickers. Not really need to be stickers. I think this is her right here. Let's look. Yep, this is her. So I clicked on that template link. All of these is stuff. She has a lot of stuff. So this one right here, first grade math topics, Bitmoji Classroom. So you just go through, you make a copy. My computer's going to think about it. And you can tell it's her because it all starts at the same one. But then she has all these different, these are obviously first grade math resources. But she has a ton of these. Here's the Artist of the Month. Here, and this is, she's on Teachers Pay Teachers. If you've heard of that before, it is an online store. So she has done a artist study on Faith Ringgold and has it here, and that actually is linked in her classroom on the Artist of the Month, that resource is in there, same for Monet. And so she has some, so here are some seasons. I don't know if this is one I saved yet or not. Again, we have to get past that first slide to see what it is. So this is all about seasons. And the cool thing about this is if I like something on here, I can copy it and paste it and make my own. But she has some that are just plain classrooms, like the background to start building your own if you want to. Okay, classroom templates. This is furniture, empty rooms, all these things. So you can start building your own from all these different components. The trick to when you're doing Bitmoji, if you haven't done it, when you move things in, you have to have a transparent background or PNG. And if you're clicking on a piece of furniture that's for sale at IKEA, it won't let you do that because it is a copyrighted image. The other thing that you can do is remove.bg is a free program that you don't have to download, but if you find an image that's not copyrighted that you want to use, this is it. You don't have to do anything. You click on here, upload your image, it takes the background off of it. The picture of my classroom with my dog, I took all the background around it because she had a bunch of stuff out. And so that's how you do that and can make them on there. So here's the different classrooms that she has created here. And again, some of these things are editable in the standpoint. So I'm going to look at this stool right here. And it gives me the choice to replace image. Go over here to format options. I learned this yesterday. This was very cool. So I like it, but that kind of, I'm real colorful and that isn't colorful enough for me. So I'm going to hit recolor. And then I'm going to click down here and I'm going to go, ooh, I like this one way better. So now I just turn that stool blue. You can adjust some things on here. It won't let you do everything, but it will let you do some stuff. And again, say, I like this right here, but I want it on this other page. So I'm simply going to take it. I'm going to cut it. I'm going to go to this other page. I'm going to click on here and I'm going to Control V and there it is. But look, it should be on the wall and this is in front of it, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click over here on the right. I'm going to click on order And I'm going to send it backwards, potentially. I might need to pull this one forward. So you just have to play with doing, there we go. Oh, and now it came all the way from the desk. So you just have to play with it to get it in the right spot. So we're going to move this back now, but you can tell that you mess with this for quite a while. You can also use your back key, and it's going to take things back. So those are your different choices that you have. These, you can set these up as different lessons and put your video and size it so it fits in here. So when you click on it, they can do it and sequence it like this. So there's a lot of different choices. And of course you create your Bitmoji and then it goes in here. You don't have to use your teacher account to create your Bitmoji. Mine is in my personal account, and that's what this icon is right up here. Not sure what I'm wearing for this. This is from the last thing that I did. And you just pick which one you want and then pop it over here. If you haven't used Bitmoji, when you do that, most of the ones that come up have all these things, and that gets really old. If you type pose in, then you're going to get your ones that are standing that aren't saying anything. That will save you like so much time right there. Obviously, there's some that aren't appropriate to use with school, but there's lots of them that you can do that. If there is one you want to use that has a word on it, you can, like, let's pull this one over here. So I have this one. For some reason, I really want to use this, but it has this on it. So I'm clicked on it. I am going to, should give me my format options. I want to crop the image. So I just hit crop image, and as you can tell, the blue line that was around it was there first, but I had this black line. So I need to pull the black line up. And when I pull the black line up, that cuts everything else out. Then I click outside the box, and now I have that image that I can use over here. Does that make sense? Okay. Any other questions? Like I said, you can get lost in this like for days.
Deborah, I am in the site that you sent us in for the first grade teacher, and there's different categories in here, and I'm trying to find her. It's called We Are Teachers. Let me go back in here, trying to find.
So this is, once you click on that link.
Let me go back.
We were on, it's this one right here with all the bookcases.
Okay, let me see if I can find that one. Hold on. I didn't see the bookcases. Let me see. Mine starts out with 10 ideas.
Her hair is like this and everything, and so that's what I look for.
Okay.
Because all these other ones have a lot of them too, but she has more. And
no,
she's an artist, which
yeah, mine doesn't give that option. It starts out with K-5 resources, everything, school supplies. So I'm just wondering how you got to that option.
I think I linked this in our slides. I have so many things open. Let's see if I can find it.
I'm just.
And Deborah, I think you can just go and copy the link of that individual person and add it to the chat, and then people can get to it that way.
Okay.
So if you're there, yeah, just copy that address and it should be able to link people there.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. Now
Get so much interesting things. I'm just eager to find out how to do it all.
I lost the chat. I'm going to stop sharing the screen. Where's my chat? There it is.
All right. And thank you so much, Deborah. I know I for sure learned things, and we appreciate your sharing your knowledge and the tips and trips, all the tricks to getting the best Google Slides out there and being able to be a little bit creative. Glenn, did you want to say anything to your teachers before we close this session?
No, I don't think so. We will not have a joint session this afternoon. So dance and theater folk, make sure that you are checking the right Zoom link for this afternoon's session, so we don't join the wrong one.
Okay, and then Art, if you'll just stay on for a minute more, I'll show you where you can find your information, because we're going to be asynchronous this afternoon.
Cool. All right. I'm going to
All
head
right,
out.
all right, thank you, Deborah.
You're welcome.
All right.
Okay, so at this moment, dance and theater folk, you can go ahead and exit out. Just check the your Zoom link on the website for this afternoon, and we'll see you at 12:30.
All right, and Art, in that new teacher folder, I have the information you need to do the session for this afternoon. And you're going to be doing courses on Art of Education. And if you haven't gotten into that account yet, please let me know. You can call me here in the office, or on my cell, or via email. But high school teachers, you're going to be doing the course Surviving Your First Year of High School Art. And of course, this document is in that shared drive for New Teacher Academy. Middle school teachers, you're going to do 2 classes because yours are shorter, but it's going to be Surviving Your First Year of Middle School Art and then Managing Middle Schoolers, which is very important. And then elementary, it's going to be Surviving Your First Year of Elementary Art. And you have until, I believe it's midnight on Friday to have those done, and let me know so that I can give you credit for them. Does anyone have any questions before we break for the day? All right, well, thank you for joining us, and I will see you Tuesday morning, and we're gonna go over our art handbook, which will give you a little bit more of this is what we do in the art department, and some just overall, this is how we do it. So there'll be a lot more information to come, but enjoy those sessions. Art of Education is, we're really excited that we can offer it this year. It was kind of just because we didn't get to go to state base last year. We had a little bit of extra money that we could spend. So there's no guarantee that we can get it again, but we took the opportunity to make it available. All right, so if you don't have questions, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Miss Fromm?
Yes.
Okay. So is our art education login the same as our email?
Let me look to see what yours was. Just give me a minute. I added some of you via your home emails because I didn't know how soon Fort Worth would have your emails ready.
But as long as I can use that one, right?
Yeah. So did you already get an email from them?
Well, I was already a member of them.
Oh, okay. So then basically what they did then is activated your account now under us so that we cover the cost for the year.
Okay.
So you're going to just use your regular account, and then you're just going to send me that certificate. Okay?
Thank you.
All right. Take care.